All right, welcome to Creative Heat Sources, volume whatever we're on. And no, this isn't the only thing that I'm obsessed with. There's actually some cool stuff that'll be coming soon that I'm trying to make time to get to doing. But tonight we are starting it's about 52 in the van. We're going to do a test similar to how we've done it before. So this is the thermometer that's next to where the heater is, and the heater actually has its own thermometer as well, so we'll see how accurate that is. But we are testing the Utilitech 350 watt plug-in heater, really just for giggles. I mean, look how this is like the size of a beer can, right? I actually saw it the other day at Lowe's, and I didn't get it because I didn't know how much it was. It wasn't marked. And then I looked it up online, and they said that my local Lowe's actually was on clearance. Gee, I wonder why. For $12.50. It had been like $25, and they marked it down to $12.50. So I was like, well, for $12.50, I'll give it a shot, and if it doesn't work, I can always take it back. So anyway, one thing to note if you do get one, it has a power button on the side that you have to turn on before turning on the unit power button. Don't know why. Anyway, the first downside I see to this, though, it doesn't have its own plug. It's actually got a 3-prong plug right here that goes directly into an outlet. So if you're using this at home, it would literally be sticking out of the wall. It says it's good for spaces like 150 square feet, something like that. I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we're just inside the van, so I wanted to see if it would work. It strangely had, we'll go ahead and turn it on. It strangely had actually pretty good reviews on the Lowe's website. I'm just going to do this to try and hold it up. And so it's a little ceramic heater. And it doesn't want to sit straight, so I guess that's about as good as it's going to get for right now. And I can say, actually, you can feel the warmth coming off this thing. It is obviously not 72, or maybe it set itself to 72. I think it set itself to 72. And it's literally like the box in the unit. You get no instructions. So for those of you who are, boondocking and running, I'm sitting down on the couch now, running your own power, if it's solar or what have you. Yeah, so that means that this thing is going to, even though it's tiny, is going to be pulling about 350 watts. I usually do not boondock, and if I do, I would not be using something like this because it's just going to unreasonably drag down my batteries. And if I'm in a situation where, like solar, yeah, and I do have solar panels, it'll recharge, but it takes, probably about 5 hours or so to recharge, at least for my batteries. So that's an option that you'd have to weigh for yourself. If you're using a Jackery, depending on the size, it will run this. But again, your question is how long. I think with the size of the Jackery that would run this, you're probably looking at maybe 5 or 6 hours-ish. And it's bugging me. I want it like pointed at me. I'm going to see if I can do this. I should have brought my tripod because I'm trying all of this like one-handed, and that's what my problem is. Okay, well, it turns out it actually stands up by itself, more or less. Okay, so I'm going with it. The beginning 72 is the set temperature. And I can actually say, sitting in front of it, like, I can feel it. Oh, and actually the temperature next to the unit has already started to rise. We're at 58.59. So we're going to leave this here. I was not smart enough to grab the other thermometer, so when we're looking at the temperature that's by me, I'll just move this thermometer. So to be honest with you, it's like actually kind of already feeling kind of cool. I mean, like cool as in good, not cool as in it is code. Um, and just, something as an alternative to the propane heaters, any of the Mr. Buddies or was it the Omegas or, any of those propane heaters or uh, people who want to use their stove for heat. I tried that experiment in another video and that was not an option for me. And this isn't, I haven't done any of these tests in like extreme cold. So I know that there are people who love using their little, um, their Coleman stove or whatever to heat the place. And I don't know, maybe if I'm cooking a bunch of stuff, that would work. But for my purposes, it has not. So anyway, back to the box. Yeah, this is like literally what you get. The box and the unit. That's it. There's no... There's nothing else in there. It's empty. You get... I hope you know how to, like, press buttons. Because that's all it tells you. So at least if you're in the general vicinity of it, it's pretty nice. I'll move down on the sofa in a minute to see how it does, like, a little bit farther away. But at least sitting in it, like, it's actually pretty comfortable. And what's one of the reasons why I'm choosing to do heat experiments? Oh, see, we're getting up to 60. Well, in the, next to the little thing. And living in Florida and not air conditioning. And the reason why is if you're using an actual air conditioner, and even some of those things like, what is it, the Icy Breeze or Ice Air, something like that, Ice Zero, they're still pulling a lot of energy. You see some people with like window units that they've put in their vans or portable air conditioners, but you need a legit power source for that. On Cheap RV Living, Bob did interview a guy that boondocks and uses I think it's a 5,000 BTU air conditioner. But he's got a generator. As a matter of fact, I actually bought the generator that he uses in the video because I was, that impressed. And he uses the generator because it's got like a quart gas tank. And it'll run for about 5 to 6 hours on that little tank of gas. So, like a gallon or a 5-gallon jug of gas will get you for a while. In addition to that, he's got 1,200 watts of solar, 6 lithium batteries, and he paid then, right around $3,000 for it. I shudder to think how much that costs now. And that's unattainable for a lot of people. So, okay, and this looks like it has like it has settings. So we're gonna punch it up to 11. Does it have 11? Oh, it does. It has an 11. It must be on 11. So, that's unattainable for a lot of people. I mean, I know that I don't want to spend $3,000 in solar. And in my particular rig, like, where the fuck would I put it? So, and there's a lot of people who just don't even have that kind of money. So we're going to look back at the thermometer. It's still sticking at right around 60, but sitting in front of it, like, if it was cold, I actually would not be upset with this. So let's see what the temperature is where I was sitting. So that's where I was sitting, and we'll give it a few minutes to see what the temperature ends up doing. So we're at 9 minutes right now. Oh, actually, just turned to 10. that we've been sitting here. So in 10 minutes, you know, because if you're camping or whatever, you don't want to be like shivering forever waiting for, I'll just do a quick turn. I will do, yeah, sorry about the mess over here. It didn't originally turn on, so I had to like bring in stuff to test. But you guys really haven't seen a whole lot of the rig so far, and I'll do a video, you know, a tour video at some point. But anyway, and this little sofa pulls out into a bed. So, what does the thermometer say it is at now? It's still holding at 60-ish, 59, 60. I can say though, just feeling it though, it feels like it's gotten a lot warmer in here, and maybe it's just because I was sitting in front of the thing. So I'm going to sit like a little bit farther away. And that's those were some old shorts that they didn't fit anymore. I was actually going to use them for something else, but I ended up cutting them up, and so it's all the pockets and belt loops and stuff, and so I use them as a holder now, a holder of things. You know, you got hooks and stuff, so. So, and I can say just sitting here, it's not like as roasty toasty, but it does feel comfortable. So I will probably, just because I don't want this video to go too long, do another video after it's been on for a while, and just, you know, just to see what the temperatures are looking like. But I can say, like, maybe it's just because it makes the air drier in here. You know, in Florida, it's usually damp even in the wintertime. I think we're at like 65% humidity today. So that makes even 52 feel colder than it would normally feel. You know, so what would it be staying the night? You know, obviously you would have to be someplace that has power. But again, just looking at different sources of heat, and you know, here in Florida, most people camp in the wintertime because in the summer, if you don't have power and air conditioning, it's fucking miserable. Been there, done that. We'll never ever do it again. So, like, I actually feel like I can even take my jacket off right now, even though the thermometer is still saying that there hasn't been an appreciable difference. So far, this is like one of the most successful tests that I've had. You know, and again, since this is electric, you know, you are less likely to die. This has apparently become my unofficial motto: don't die. So yeah, so we're trying to not die. And if I'm someplace without power, yes, I do use the Mr. Buddy heater. But I only turn it on to get it like super hot in here before I go to bed. And then I have, you know, jammies and plenty of blankets and stuff like that. And then I turn it off. And then I'll turn it back on if I have to, you know, go pee in the middle of the night. Or if it gets cold enough to wake me up in the middle of the night, I'll turn it on for a few minutes, get it warm, and then I'll turn it off. Just because I don't trust it. And I do have a carbon dioxide alert thingy that's in here just to be on the safe side, but still, you know, it just, I don't know. I know that people sleep with them on all the time and they're fine, but it gives me the willies and I don't want to do it. So this I thought might be an interesting alternative, and that does not take up a lot of space. And I do have other ceramic heaters that, you know, maybe only 2 or 3 times the size of this, which is still small. But I don't know, this looked like a cool alternative, and I decided to give it a shot. I'm giving it a cautious success. I'm looking at the thermometer again. It's still sticking around 59, 60. But tomorrow I'll come out and do another test, probably off video, just to give it an idea. And then I'll do a follow-up video. But anyway, if you're someplace cold, stay warm. And if you're someplace warm, enjoy it. And until next time, bye.